Welcome back to another Monday Medicare with Drew. Today, in about 5 minutes, we're going to be helping you learn some tools and tricks for navigating our provider directory search on our website. Without further ado, let's jump into the agenda. We're going to help you navigate the website. Then we're going to help you check to see if a provider that your client is already seeing is in network. Then we're going to help with some tools and tricks for finding a list of providers for a specific specialty. And finally, we're going to conclude with a couple examples of these provider searches. So the steps to see if a provider that your client is already seeing is in network. You're going to first go to medicare.pacificsource.com. This is just our public home website. From here, you're going to click Search Tools, which is up in the top right, Search Tools. From there, you're going to click Find a Doctor. After you click Search Tools, there are going to be 3 options that pop down. It's Find a Doctor, Find a Drug, and Find a Pharmacy. You can select whatever you're looking for. If it's a drug, you can select that. But today, we're going to be jumping into Find a Doctor. So once you click Find a Doctor, it'll pop up with a little message that says Enter Member ID. This is for our already existing members. If this is a new member to PacificSource, you can actually just click Skip this step. Once you click Skip this step, it will pop up with this website here. This is what it looks like to find a provider. Then you're going to input the required information below. So in this case, if this is a 2024 member, you're going to select the plan year is 2024. Then the zip code that member lives in or that provider practices in. In this case, for the examples, we'll use the Tacoma zip code, 98403. Then you're going to select the limit distance. Typically 10 miles is fine if that provider practices within that 10-mile radius of that zip code. Then the network of the plan. So this is going to be the network of one of the plans that you're looking at with the members. So the Essentials network, the Explorer network, the MyCare network are some examples of that. And then you're going to select the provider or group name. So here's where you input the provider name that you're looking for with that client. So if that member sees a provider and that provider's name, let's say, is John Smith, and you want to find out to see if John Smith is in network, you are going to input his last name, comma, first name. So in this little box here, you'll type in Smith, comma, and it'll typically pop up with all the Smiths by that last name. To narrow that down, you can type in his first name after that comma. So Smith, comma, John. And it'll pop up with all the John Smiths that practice for different specialties. If you see one of those pop up in the drop-down list, you can go ahead and select that for the one that you're looking for if you know that's the specialty he practices at. Or you can just leave it at Smith, comma, John and click Find Providers. This will pop up with all the John Smiths and all the networks that those John Smiths are in network with. If you don't see anybody pop up there, it is possible that provider is not in network. So if it pops up with a message that says no results found or no providers practicing within that zip code, it's possible that provider is not in network with PacificSource. But if you think that there are any inconsistencies there, or you think that provider typically practices at one of our in-network hospital systems that we're in network with, you can go ahead and email your local sales executive just to confirm, and we can always check. We do try and keep our website as updated as possible. It's updated pretty much weekly, but it is possible that sometimes these providers don't let us know that they've changed practices or moved locations or are no longer accepting new patients. And so it's possible that there are some inconsistencies on the website, but we do try and keep it pretty updated. The next search that we're going to help you do and navigate is the steps to find a list of providers for a given specialty. So in this case, you're going to follow the same steps as before, such as medicare.pacificsource.com, just our public homepage website. Then up in the top right, you're going to click the search tools. From there, you're going to click Find a Doctor. Once you click Find a Doctor, you are going to be prompted with this message to input the member ID of the member. A lot of the times, these are new members to PacificSource or thinking about a PacificSource plan, so you just can go ahead and skip this step. It doesn't hurt to actually input the member ID, though, if it is a client that already is on a PacificSource plan. So once you click Skip this step or you input the member ID, you will be prompted to this page here. This is our website, and you will go ahead and input the highlighted information. That's the tricks to find a list of providers. So the required information below, plan year 2024, if that's a member for a 2024 plan. Then the zip code of the provider of the list of the members area, or if this provider is in one of our other states, such as Idaho, you can input the Idaho zip code that provider that your member or client needs the list in. In this case, for the examples, we'll just use the Tacoma zip code. Limit distance, 10 miles is typically fine. From there, you're going to go to the network, whatever network of the plan that you're looking at with the members, such as the Explorers RX, the MyCare network or the Essentials network, some examples. Then you're going to leave the provider or group name blank because you don't actually know what this provider's name is. You're looking for a list of a specialty. From there, you're going to go to specialty or facility category. Once you click this option, it will pop up with a large list of different specialties for providers. If you see the specialty you're looking for, you can go ahead and select it. If the specialty is a more specific or narrow type that isn't on that list, you can go up and click the help button, and that will help give you a little prompt to type in that specialty that you are looking for to get a more narrow list. You can also use this to find dentists, doctors, any practicing providers for any of our plans. From here, if you want a more narrow list of that given specialty, you can go over to select a specialty or facility type and select a more narrow list of providers, and that is in the example that we go on to the next page. From here, you can select the language you're looking for. English is typically what will populate if you just leave that blank. So show me all providers, accepting new patients, typically yes or no preference is fine. And then the gender preference, if your member or client would like a female or a male provider, you can go ahead and select those options below. Then you're just going to click Find a Provider, and it should populate with a large list of providers that are in network with our plans for that specific specialty or category. Then you can email that list to the client or just save it to your desktop as a PDF. That's how you navigate the website. Next, we're going to jump into a couple examples of these provider searches. This is an example of to see if John Smith is in network. So first you're going to do 2024. Zip code this is the Tacoma zip code 98403. Limit distance 10 miles, typically fine. We're looking at the MyCare network. That's one of the networks in this area. Then you're going to type in Smith, John. It should pop up with a bunch of John Smiths. You can go ahead and click on the one that you're looking at, or just leave it as Smith, John, and then leave everything else blank. If you're looking for a man, you can go ahead and select that, or a woman. Then find providers, and it should pop up with all the John Smiths practicing in different practices that are in network with that specific network that you're looking at. The other example here that we have is a list of providers for a specific specialty. The specialty we chose here is the naturopathic physicians. So you're going to first go to 2024 plan, then the city, state, and zip code. Just zip code's fine. So this is the Tacoma zip code 98403. Limit distance 10 miles. Then the network is the MyCare network. That's the featured plan in this area. So the MyCare network, leave this part blank since you don't already know. You're looking for a list. Specialty or facility category. Once you click this, one of the drop-down options is alternative care providers. That includes chiropractic providers, acupuncture providers, naturopath providers. If we're looking for naturopath physician specifically, you can go over to specialty or facility type and select the naturopathic physician. And then any other preferences that your client is looking for, you can select those and then find providers, and it should pop up with all the different naturopath doctors in your area that your member's in. We do contract with a wide variety of different specialties and individual practices, so please give our provider search tool a check. If you think that there are any inconsistencies here, you can go ahead and email your local sales executive, and they can assist you with anything, or make sure, double check providers are in network and accepting new patients. Thank you, and please reach out to your local sales executives for any extra information, and they should be able to help you out.